All right. So welcome to IAM Day. Rich, I would love if you would, I know that people can't necessarily see you, or maybe they can, depending on what they're looking, which device they have. But I would love for you to just introduce yourself and the message behind this, just in case this is someone's first opportunity to participate in IAM Day. And then we'll hop into the presentation.
Well, thank you, Nicole, and thanks for being part of the collaborator circle for IAM Day 2025. We're really fortunate to have you as a guest and a presenter here today. Your message, I'm sure, will echo across the world. We've had people from every corner of the planet actually on the lives today, throughout the very beginning sessions through to now, through the midday, and now into the latter part of the day and the late part of your day. I'm on the West Coast, so I'm still sort of mid-afternoon. You're at the end of the day. Yeah. But what we did to bring us all together on this quest of being celebrating Florence Scovel Shinn's 100th year anniversary of a book that she wrote called The Game of Life back in 1925. That was what originally got this movement started. But the International Awakening Movement, IAM Day, became more than just that. It became a place for us to gather and become one. And as that oneness, I lit a candle at the beginning of the morning at 7 a.m. my time in the Pacific. And that candle has been burning all throughout this day through the messages of each of our teachers. So Nicole, your light will shine on all of us today. So thank you for being here with us.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you for sharing that message. And thank you again for allowing me to participate and share my message. I'm excited to be here. I love Rich he's like, I would like you to make a presentation that combines all these things. I'm like, okay, let's see how I can make this work. And that was exciting and fun to me. I love challenges, and I love taking the bits and pieces of knowledge that I have and putting them together. So right now, what we'll do is I'm going to introduce you to some characters that I created specifically for this presentation. And we're just going to do a little storytelling to help kind of get an understanding of the brain and energy and sleep and all those things. So I love science, and I love woo, and I love putting them together so that you can win. If you have any questions during the presentation, I ask that you hold them till the end, and I will get to them at the end of that, just in case. So welcome to Patty, Adriana, Mike, and Heidi. I'm so glad you're here. And then anyone who joins and watches this after the fact. Now, I will share the screen again, and hopefully I won't lose all the things because I have multiple screens up. So, and this is on my smaller laptop window. So now, like, some of the features are hidden. Here we go. Share screen. And yeah, this is it. All right, can y'all see it okay? Okay, perfect. And this menu bar is not in the screen, right? Or is it? The share screen menu bar. Just want to make sure it's not.
Looks really good from my perspective.
Okay, perfect. So today, ease into the natural flow of success. So like I said, we're going to meet 5 characters that I created to help explain how the brain works, how sleep works in the brain, how the energy body affects the physical body. And yeah, let's just hop into that right now. So this is your team. All of us have these team members as part of our lives, and I'll just go through everything. So this is NamuH, and NamuH represents all of us. We're lovable. We are just a character who experiences the ups and downs of life. So this is what NamuH is going to go through. That's what NamuH looks like. Of course, the brain. This is the CEO. He runs the office, but of course, the rest of the team has to help and participate. This is Trace. That's the heart. Trace sends emotional signals to Bright and sets the tone. When it's coherent, it's smooth. When it's not coherent, it's jagged and stressed. It's just not helpful. And this is Jace. He's a janitor, and that's your nightly cleaning crew. So when you're sleeping at night, Jace does its job. It cleans your memory, it cleans out the sleep dirt, and it just helps reset the brain if you give it the right environment. This is Vale. So this is the protector. This is your energy body. It holds and protects your life force energy, but it can get covered in cobwebs, especially if you don't get proper sleep. But we'll go into that a little bit more. And then this is Stoma. This is your provider. It nourishes your body, your brain, your body, and it can affect, the timing. When you eat, it can affect your energy, your rest, and everything. So just getting that mastered is very important to your development in your consciousness. We'll get more into that as well. So this is the story that we're going to be telling you. I always like to remind people that tomorrow starts tonight, right? So what happened with NamuH is NamuH gets home, it's late, it's exhausted, he eats dinner late, sitting on a couch, and Trace is just frazzled because it doesn't have time to relax and calm down for the evening before you get ready for bed. And since NamuH ate really late, you see Stoma over there still just trying to work through the food shortly before bed. He's got all this food in your stomach. And what happens when you eat, of course, the blood goes to your stomach to help digest the food. So when that happens, if you're eating too late, you have this restless sleep a lot of times. I don't know if you've experienced that. If you have, feel free to put it in the chat and let us know. Share some of your experiences. But with all the blood focusing on digesting your food, Jace can't really do its job. So when you're sleeping, the brain has just this one time. This time of day is the only time the brain can do the cleaning that it does. Because during the day, you're thinking, you got all these thoughts going, all this other activity that's going on in the brain that it needs to focus on. It can't spend time cleaning the sleep dirt and cleaning all the metabolic things that happen during the day. I saw a chat message. Go to bed at 8 so you can wake up at 4. I love it. It takes intentionality. Thank you, Rich. It takes intentionality. I know as adults, when we were younger, our parents would try to make us go to bed, and we're like, when we're an adult, we can get to bed whenever we want to. And I think in the younger years, you could kind of get away with that. But as we get older, if anyone's my age or older, you probably realize that, I kind of need a little bit more sleep and it needs to be productive. And so your nighttime routine is very, very important. And I'm going to do a demo in a moment with the Heart Math product. But what happens in the morning is you look like this. You wake up late, you oversleep. Trace is like, I don't know which way is up or down. I'm frustrated, I'm sad. And so your Vale is just checked out. It has no resilience right now. It can't protect you. And it's just, everything is off, right? You're spilling your coffee in the morning. Your brain is like, fog. You're not braining. That's what I say. My brain is not braining right now. So if you've ever experienced a morning like this, feel free to share. I would love to hear it, how you respond when this happens. And I want to remind you, your body and your subconscious are always listening. So if you tend to think negatively, like if you spill your coffee and you're like, this sucks and today sucks and I wish this didn't happen. And if you have that type of dialogue, it can really, really affect the way your rest of your day goes and the impact that it has on your body, because words are energy. So as I'm talking about energy in Vale, all that is those messages are being sent to your brain. Your brain is recording them. It's also getting stuck in your body if there are emotions involved that are not being processed. And long-term, chronically, that can start to create effects on the physical body. So one thing something just came to mind about the thoughts and whatnot, but it just slipped out. So I'm sure it'll come back. But per the Heart Math Institute and all their 20 plus years of study, the heart actually sends more signals to the brain than the brain does to the heart. So what's interesting and fascinating about that, just the heart in general. So if you've ever experienced any type of grief and you're like, how come I can logically understand what's going on, but my heart just won't hear it? It has its own nervous system. It has its own way of processing things. So that's why heartaches happen. I know that's a little bit off topic, but I just wanted to share a little bit about that. And Dr. Amen, where I've gotten a lot of my brain health training from, when your brain works right, you work right. I know we've probably experienced time, people who say they have to have their coffee in the morning because they're sluggish, or if you're just tired, if you have those moments when you're like exhausted and you just cannot think. Have you ever done that before? Have you experienced that before? That you're so exhausted that you can't think, and you're just, for me, in the end of the day, if it's been a really long day, I will just like stand in the middle of the room and there's just no thought. I cannot function. I feel like a little kid who's fighting sleep, because you don't want to miss out on something. And I'm like, I need to just take my butt to bed. So behind the scenes on days like this, and so when I say behind the scenes, I mean in your body, there's miscommunication. There's no coherence between the heart and the brain and the rest of the body. And a coherence means when things are in flow together, they have this rhythm they're just talking and they're just having a great conversation together and things are just working smoothly. But when you have a crazy night like that, that is not what happens. So I want to share really quick with you the Heart Math program. I'm going to attach this to my ear so that you can see, and I'll share my screen again in a moment. Good now, Larry, welcome. So I'm going to share this screen. Okay. The reason I'm showing this to you is because I want to show the power of your thoughts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a minute-long test. And this is going to be indicative of NamuH the morning after he has had bad sleep. After it's had bad sleep, spilled his coffee, he's got all these negative thoughts going on in his mind. So as you can see here, the red is going to indicate a low coherence. Blue will be medium, green will be high. So I'm just going to put myself in NamuH's position as I breathe and think negative thoughts. All right, that's been a minute. As you can see, there is low coherence from my heart to my brain. The thoughts that I was thinking is, this day sucks. I can never get this right. Why couldn't I do this right? I wish this didn't happen. So those are the type of thoughts. Those are things that we think don't even impact our body. And you can see clearly here on the screen that it does. So it's very, very important to mind your mind. And when things happen, learning how to just like if you spill coffee, I remember back in the day, I would be this person. I would beat myself up for spilling a cup of coffee. Today, I just laugh and I'm like, well, I guess I didn't need that part. Just like, it's not that big a deal. In the grand scheme of things, I'm like, in a grand scheme of things, this is really like going to change anything. No, let me just pick it up, make myself another cup and whatever. So I wanted to demonstrate that. And then later on, because we're getting ready to go through NamuH's having a more smoother day. And then I'm going to demonstrate what it's like to have positive thoughts, and you'll see the difference. The beauty of that is, or just something to note about that, is it weakens your immune system when you have these negative thoughts like that, especially if it's a chronic behavior. It weakens your immune system, it weakens your resolve, and it makes things harder. Things feel heavier. The day is it just takes a lot more effort. So if you've ever felt exhausted at the end of the day and you're like, I haven't even really done anything, I don't know why I'm so tired, maybe consider how you've been thinking about things. Don't stub your toe first thing in the morning and get upset. Yes, absolutely, Rich. All right, back to the presentation. Let's see what NamuH's got going on now. All right. So what if your team met daily? And actually, I'm going to walk you all through an exercise real quick. You can create a ritual that really supports your whole body, your physical body, your emotional body, your energy body, your brain, your mind, your stomach, everything. So simple things, creating a heart-focused routine, which we'll go through a quick practice from I adapted it from the Heart Math Institute. Remembering that tomorrow begins tonight. So it's really important to get proper sleep as much as possible, as often as possible. I get life, right? There are some times where you will be up late for whatever reason. Dog is sick, child is sick, like those are the nights, right? But as often as you possibly can, get the type of sleep that you need. It is so important. On a side note, especially if Alzheimer's or dementia is in your family, ideally you will not activate the gene that could cause that for you. And part of that is getting enough sleep so that your brain can actually wash itself at night. Like I said, it's the only time your brain has the opportunity to do that, because during the day, there's just too much other activity going on. So, as I said before, thoughts are energy. Everything is all energy. So all the things that you do impact your energy body, and your energy body impacts your physical body. So clearing that, and we'll do a quick clearing session at the end, is really important to your overall well-being as well. Mind your mind, like I said before, your thoughts matter, your words matter, how you think about yourself, your environment, your situation, the foods you eat, all of that matters. And nourishing your body and mind with the foods that you eat and the way you think about the foods that you eat is very important. Now, how does all this raise your consciousness? One thing to note is your consciousness is dependent upon, their consciousness is different stages, right? So there's the waking state, the sleeping state, the dreaming state, and then there's higher levels of consciousness. If you think about it, every form has a different way of behaving. Sleep, the world doesn't even exist. Dreaming, you have these beautiful, vivid dreams, whether you remember them or not, which they're all beneficial. But when you're awake, that's a different state of consciousness. When you're in transcendental consciousness, there's different states of consciousness. And it's important to let your team meet on a daily basis so that you can continue to raise your level of consciousness. All this helps raise your level of consciousness. So I want to invite you to a heart coherence check-in staff meeting. I'm going to invite you, if you're in a safe place to do so, close your eyes, or you can soften your gaze, whichever is most comfortable for you, and place your hand on your heart. I don't know where I put my mic, so I don't want to hit the mic. And I'm going to invite you to breathe in slowly for 5 seconds, and then breathe out slowly for another 5 seconds. Effortlessly. And let your breath feel smooth and even. I saw a comment, I just don't know where the bar is. I'll get to that momentarily. Now imagine you're breathing in and out of your heart, as if your heart was doing the breathing itself. And as you're doing that, bring to mind something that you really appreciate. Not something you think you should appreciate, but something you really appreciate. It could be a person, a pet, a place, a moment. And let that feeling fill your chest. And notice how Trace, your heart, sends a calming signal to Bright, your brain. And it only takes a couple minutes. And your whole system begins to relax and calm down. So even if you just do that first thing in the morning, every now and throughout the day, that is your staff checking in. As Trace, well, Jace not so much. Jace will come in the evening. But Trace, Stoma, Bright, and Vale, that's them checking in and supporting your whole being. So let's see what a better day looks like. With tomorrow starting tonight, NamuH chose to have dinner earlier and let Trace give time for Trace to relax. As you can see, Stoma is happily creating food, digesting food. It's not as sporadic as before. And Jace is just waiting for you to get to sleep. You have a good night's sleep. Your day will be much smoother in the morning. Jace is happily cleaning all of the stuff that you don't need in your brain anymore so that you can have a fresh brain in the morning. Trace is calm and relaxed and happy. Bright is alert and ready the next morning. Your cup of coffee is perfect because you feel better, you have more coordination, your brain is not so foggy, and Vale is strong and protecting you. So, I love the science, and then we'll do another heart math demo. Same body, different day, different outcome. Your words, your thoughts are energy. With rest, the brain's glymphatic system washes out all of the gook. So the glymphatic system is only found in the brain, by the way. And again, it only can do all of that cleaning when you're sleeping. You have more coherent heart rhythms, which support your focus and your memory and so many other things. You have less brain fog, you have more emotional balance. This is Larry says this is interesting, broken down in a simple form. Thank you, Larry. I appreciate that. And like I mentioned earlier, consciousness is different at different states. And so if you're walking through the day half asleep, it's really, really hard to process things. Your state of consciousness is not conducive to the things that you're wanting to do. So that's where the sleep comes in. When your brain works right, you do too. All right, so I am going to show another demo of the heart math with different thoughts. This is NamuH's Better Morning. And I love to do this with clients right on the spot so they can see just how quickly it works. All right, let's see if I can calm down myself. Think about bunnies and butterflies and rainbows. That's a minute. And as you can see, this time it was 100% coherent. And all I said was, I am calm, I am relaxed. Today is a great day. Stuff like that. I can't remember what all I said, but I was just saying things along that line. And as you can see, like I went within a couple of minutes from low coherence to high coherence. That is your energy body at work. That is your mind at work. And that's just how quickly it can happen. Let's see. Happy thoughts. Yes. Make good decisions. Absolutely, Patty. I love it. It can, right? What it does is it opens your mind up to other possibilities. Because as you can imagine, if you're frustrated or angry or upset, for one, most of your energy and blood is not flowing to the prefrontal cortex, the CEO part of your brain, where you can actually think more creatively and clearly. You're in the part of the brain that's more in the fight or flight. So when you're in a more coherent state, you can come up with more creative solutions to whatever challenges you're dealing with. So I want to know, because I forgot to ask y'all, how did it go for you when you did the breathing exercise? Did you feel more calm? Did you have thoughts? Was it a challenge for you? Let me hear some about that. Share some of your experience. Good now, John. Welcome. If you care to share, that is. No pressure. Are y'all ready to finish hearing what NamuH's going through? Also, I keep losing the chat. Oh, here we go. So, definitely calmer. Heart rate settled down. Love it. I felt a calming presence. Beautiful. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Rich. I appreciate sharing. And Patty says the breathing was relaxing. Beautiful. For anyone who has not formed a meditation practice, that is a form of meditation. If you feel like I can't meditate, that is a form of meditation. And Heidi says definitely calmer. Beautiful. Good now, John. All right. So, my mission, which is aligned with IAM Day's mission, World Peace through Inner Peace. And this is going to be with ease, and I also talk about meditation. But today, I just want to do a quick ease session with you. So, ease, for anyone who is new to hanging out with me for a bit, is Energy Alignment System Express. It's my form of energy clearing. Remember, I said thoughts are energy. And a lot of the patterns that we see consistently showing up in our life are unconscious subscriptions from usually earlier in life. So if you've noticed any kind of self-sabotage, or you're just this invisible wall that you keep running into, it's likely something in the subconscious mind, because 90% of our actions, 90+% of our actions are dictated by our unconscious, our subconscious mind. And the only way to retrain it is to do some clearing and be very intentional on the conscious level. So to do some clearing, I want to ask, how is your nighttime routine? Are there any challenges around a nighttime routine? Thoughts that you have in mind? Because then I can kind of find something that we can do some clearing on. Feel free to share that in the chat, and we'll just do one quick session, and then I'll give you something that you can take with you and use anytime you need to. So any challenges with a nighttime routine, any challenges with negative self-talk, or anything like that you would like to clear out, feel free to share. And if not, I can think of something in general that a lot of people experience when I work with. Even something as simple as it's hard to get to sleep on time. Adriana says, I honestly fall asleep very easily, but I definitely eat right before bed. before sleep. It's soothing, but a vicious cycle. Okay. I'd love to dig into that. Rich says, if I get out of my routine, does that throw you off, Rich? And Heidi says, I am an insomniac and am often still up when I see you on Insight Timer. I know, Heidi. My goodness. I didn't know it was because you were still up. Okay. Let's start with Adriana. The vicious cycle. So you fall asleep easily. Is it usually you eat and then go to bed, or you eat and you like fall asleep on the couch? What's going on there? Fall asleep on couch, not in bed. Okay, thank you, John. And then you fall asleep. Okay. Eat in bed while watching Netflix. Okay, got it. What is it that you would prefer to be doing that you're finding you're not doing? And that could be for any of you. Like John says, you fall asleep on the couch and not in bed. Where is you feel that resistance? What is the challenge there, you think? Meditating and mobility would be my ideal wind down. Okay. So right now, I'm gonna invite you to picture that as your nighttime routine and what comes up for you. You love Nick, I cannot pronounce his last name, Insight Timer live events at 3:15 a.m. Oh my goodness, Heidi. Does he record them by chance, I wonder? But also, what would it mean to instead get sleep as opposed to staying up? You know me, you've been meditating with me for a minute. I say sleep first, meditate next. I'm always saying sleep first. It feels empowering. Okay. And when I visualize it or manage to do it, okay. But a lot of willpower. So you would say it's hard to create a routine of meditating to wind down. It's too hard. Would you say that kind of resonates for you? Yes, I use the time management as an excuse. And Heidi says, it's the camaraderie of the conversation too. Understood. That will be, maybe bring that to, if you're ever up on Free Flow Friday, we can talk about that. So what I'm going to say, I'm going to use the phrase, it's too hard. Because that's pretty universal, and it could probably, hi Serena. That smile, oh my goodness. It's too hard, and it could probably apply to several of the challenges that are in your minds here. So the way the ease session works, so don't do it yet because I'm just explaining it. I am going to do an energy test with that statement in mind as I connect to all of y'all energetically, and I will test that statement against a list of common emotions. Any emotion that has a weak test, I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath in and hold, and then I'm going to say a statement while you're holding your breath. You don't have to think the statement. You don't have to try to say the statement because you're holding your breath. I am you at that point. I'm your proxy, and then I'll have you exhale. And what that does is it detaches because what happens when you're thinking about for your time management or your routine, every time you kind of think about that, these emotions flood your system, the chemicals from these emotions, and it makes it weaker. It makes you weaker. Remember how Vale, after a poor night's sleep, Vale it was dim and just over. It's like, I can't. And so it makes the body, the physical body and the energy body weak, and it just makes it harder to do things. So it really makes willpower even harder. So that's what this clearing is going to do, is it disconnects that so that you won't have to exert as much willpower, and you can come to a place of acceptance that this is what you want to do, And there's a whole other conversation behind all that, but this will at least help a little bit because it's not going too deep, but this will help a little bit. So it's too hard, right? All right, so confusion. So I invite you to take a deep breath in and hold. I release all confusion with it's too hard. And exhale. Discontent, deep breath in and hold. I release all discontent with it's too hard. Exhale. Frustration, deep breath in and hold. I release all frustration with it's too hard. Exhale. Guilt, deep breath in and hold. I release all guilt with it's too hard. Exhale. Pressure, deep breath in and hold. I release all pressure with it's too hard. Exhale. Certainty, deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with certainty with it's too hard. Exhale. Self-kindness, take deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with self-kindness with it's too hard. Exhale. Self-trust, deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with self-trust with it's too hard. Exhale. All right. What actually came up as I was doing that was I'm worth the effort. I'm worth the effort. How are you all feeling after that? Just doing that quick clearing session. Did anything else come up for you? I am worth the effort. Yes, absolutely. I cried at the pressure one. Good. Okay. If anyone who knows me knows that I celebrate the tears because that is a release of the energy that has been stored and preventing you from taking the next step, the next best step. Awesome. So I'm celebrating you, Adriana, for allowing those to flow without judgment, with love. Beautiful. Heidi says, nice and relaxed. Awesome. Awesome. That is the beauty of this method. It clears that out so you can just take the next best step forward for your highest good. You are worth the effort. Any questions, comments, thoughts? This is amazing. I teach on Insight Timer and I love it, but I miss being taught and led to. This is so valuable. Awesome, Adriana. Yes, I get that. You ready for a nap, Patty? Good. Although now you're going to be up early in the morning, but get your sleep. Richard, I know, Richard, you've probably been up pretty early too. You've been going all day on the IAM day too. So it's a lot of energy you exerted. All right. So for a simple one that you can take with you, and I'll also put it in the chat, is I release. So depending on what it is, I release all negative emotions and blocks to positive emotions with whatever it is that's coming to mind, whatever the challenge is. That is a simple kind of umbrella way of using the ease method. And Adriana, please find me on IT so I can follow you and we can connect and celebrate you. Awesome. Thank you. Awesome. All right. Can you please explain more about the heart math science and how it works? Yes, I can. The coherence, and you want to look at the actual device itself as well. Heidi. Okay, I'll share that. As soon as I find my, here we go. Stop this. Or is it sharing? Are you saying the heart math? Let me just do this. Okay, you can see the EM wave. Okay. So what happens, I won't say what happened, but what happens is this is measuring the way your heart, thank you, Adriana, thank you, Richard. When you are breathing, when you are thinking, your thoughts, what's happening in your heart is it's detecting its energy, right? So your heart is a big old source of energy. So as you are having your thoughts, you are creating this modulation within your heart. And your heart is putting out these signals, which is what you see on the screen, just based on what your heart is doing, what your thoughts are doing, what your body's doing physically, emotionally, mostly emotionally. That's your emotional center, but it's creating either a coherent pattern, which heart rate variability is really what it's all about. So basically your heart should not be the same beat all the time. That is indicative of a potential disease, chronic disease. What they've learned is that the heart rate should vary. It varies most when you're younger, and it starts to the variability declines as we age because, we're more rigid. Our thought patterns are more rigid unless we are more intentional about, thank you, Rich, I appreciate you, about learning new things, processing new things, but it's just, how do you keep that rhythm? The variability is just by varying new experiences, creating better thought habits, sleep patterns. All of that affects the way your heart rhythm beats, how your heart beats, what type of energy your heart puts out. And this is a good measure of where you are with that. The coherence just shows that all of the things are talking nicely to each other and they're working together. When it's out of coherence, it's not working together. And if it's a chronic thing, it can give indication that something else is going on. Of course, most of the time we kind of know it, but sometimes stress can be in the body and we not even recognize it, especially if there's trauma involved. I've worked with people that they have gotten so used to suppressing that they don't even recognize that they're experiencing stress or anything like that. So this is a good, this device, how did I know my mom was going to call? This device gives you an indication, it kind of gives you an indication that something is going on that you may not even really detect. I don't know if that fully answered your question. But these are how and when do you use it with clients? Usually, when I do events and someone is coming to me to talk about stress or trauma or frustration or sabotage or anything like that, I introduce the concept of how powerful their thoughts are, how powerful their mind is, how their perception, their perspective of things can create their environment that they're experiencing. And then the device, I have a couple of these. You can either put on your ear, and there's one that you can put on your finger. There's also an app that you can get and share your results with your coach as well. But it enables me to show how quickly the body can respond to energy. Your thoughts are energy. But that's how I use it. It lets them, it's very empowering. It lets them see how, I love the word thingies. It's one of my favorite words. I can send you a link, Heidi, but also a Heart Math website. You can get it from there as well, Heart Math Institute. But I can happily send you a link to it. You're so welcome. But yeah, they have an app. Let me see if I can show it. Here's one of them. If you can see it, sometimes it's not, I keep forgetting where my camera is. So this is one, and they have like different things you can learn. I recently just downloaded again because I've been using Insight Timer more and forgot about the app. So I don't have a whole lot of sessions on here, but with this particular program, I can capture multiple clients and we can create an average of coherence over time. So you can check your heart rate at a particular moment, but it doesn't give indication for a long-term like health. So capturing the heart rate variability and being able to do it over a couple of months span will give a better indication as to what your heart rate variability is. So that's how, like if I put other users in here, this is a new software. I have it on my old computer, is my original one. But this is where I would select your name, we would do a session, and we'd have a conversation. So I do too, Rich. Thank you. Rich says he likes that he can see the change. Yep. So, and then there, on the program, I can do games with you, show, and what's also beautiful about it is, like I said, the variability is more when we're younger and it starts to decline as we get older. The assessments are based on your age, because if you had low variability and your age was in there as a 10-year-old, it would be cause for alarm. So have a wonderful evening. Oh, you too, Serena. Thank you. It has to, it's done based on your age for that reason, for more accuracy. But yeah. I hope I answered your question, and if not, I can definitely follow up with you. I have to take off. Helpful info in short 15 minutes. Take care all. You too, John. Thank you. And that really is where this comes from. I calm my stress, free my energy, and welcome success with ease. So that's how, that's where that mantra comes from. Keeps you calm. You can use the ease method. We're about awakening at IAM Day. I can see how we're going to be more awake if we have good sleep. Absolutely. And of course, awake also means higher level of consciousness. It is hard to elevate your consciousness if you are exhausted, which is why I always encourage the meditators in a group, sleep first, meditate next. If you missed the meditation, because it is 5:30 a.m. Eastern, if you missed the meditation because you slept in, I celebrate that. Sleep first, because you cannot get the full benefits of the meditation. You can't get the full benefits of much anything, your food or anything. So awaken. Better sleep, better states of consciousness. Any thoughts, comments? Because this concludes my presentation. And thank you. Thank you, Rich. Did you have any last words you would like to say as we close out?
Well, Nicole, I can see how connected you are with your audience, your clients, your followers, the people that show up here with you, because you really get down to the heart of things, literally, because you actually have a coherence monitor that actually measures heart coherence, which I think is pretty cool, because you said at the beginning, sometimes you follow a little woo-woo and science. This is a nice blend of awakening for us all to really see that there is a little of both that we can, and some resonate, as you know, with the science more than the woo-woo. And I kind of, I'm sort of like, I'm on the left and right. I like it all. So you really hit all the marks for me, Nicole. It was kind of an awakening for me, and the things that you can do easily, and even in an online form like this for IAM Day, in a virtual sense, and make those connections. And it sounds to me that you have people from multiple time zones here too, because you're still listening to me, and it's 2:30 in the morning where you are, right? So I did say, and I'll say it out loud, and I mentioned it. It was interesting that I follow you on Insight Timer, Nicole, and I'm going, dang, her lives are at 2:30. That's about an hour and a half out of my window, so on my time zone. Yeah. So you may not see me. I did pop in, if you recall, to one.
Yes, I did.
So if I am up early enough, I definitely will show up, and thank you all for showing up. It's been a pleasure being part of your session here.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure sharing. It was fun coming up with the characters. I was like, because science can be kind of dry sometimes, so I wanted to make it informative and interesting and make it stick, because it is so important to really pay attention to our routines, our nighttime routines, our daytime routines, our thought patterns, mind to mind. So it's fun. I love the science and I love the woo-woo as well. And yeah, combining them.
Here's to your light.
Yes, thank you. All right, loves. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks again, Rich, for having me here and allowing me to share the stage with so many amazing teachers. I hope others got a chance to record so I could tune into the ones that I've missed.
Definitely.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for showing up, taking time out for you and your well-being, and allowing me to pour into you. I will see you around Insight Timer, Substack, and anywhere else we find each other. Thank you so much, everyone. Namaste.